Fame, power, money. It is inevitable that those who gain these things will seek more of them. Like a siren's call, they lure people in. It is an unfortunate, never-ending cycle, as old as time itself. Even the most righteous of people will succumb when enough temptation is leveraged upon them. Inevitable for one and all. Except for this guy. I remember him. He remembers you. Richest man in Tamriel, possibly? And yet, you don't care. For those of you who don't remember, this here's Dagrim. Happy-go-lucky, fun guy, master smith, master alchemist, master enchanter, and plenty of other things, lest we also not forget, also the Archmage of the College of Winterhold, the leader of the Thieves Guild, off-screen, the leader of the Assassins Guild, off-screen. So, hi.
Now you may be wondering, why is Dagrim standing in front of, Windhelm? Why is he here of all places? Well, that's because of this. And no, this isn't one of the vanilla buildings. This is a modded one. Placed it here myself. Not the best of places, but hey, you work with what you got. So let's take a look around. Starting with over there. Dagrim's nice little archery range. You can just step outside, take a few pot shots. This one is a bit in the weeds, which suits him just fine. He likes the ability to have to work a little bit in order to hit that bullseye, or any other place that he chooses to. After all, he was primarily an archer. Of course, he was also a master smith. He was more than happy to go ahead and spend time in the forge. Naturally, he has to have a forge. Of course, the mods only allow a smelter and an anvil, but you take what you can get. Moving right along. You can't be a smith without a leather tanning rack, right? Right? Gotta make those leather strips somehow. Of course, he has no problems killing cute critters. Moving along. The actual entrance. A nice little barrel there, a couple of, benches there, a trough for collecting runoff water. Not exactly the most hygienic thing, but who cares? But inside is where we get to the meat and potatoes of it all. Now, a nice little place for drinks, some meat on the table, some salt to salt it with. You gotta come up and get your plate and everything, but whatever. A little bit of storage in back, just stuff that didn't fit anywhere else. And of course, the Dwemer table. Now, this may seem a little odd. What is a Dwemer table doing inside of, Dagrim's mead house? Mead hall, yeah. Well, that's simple. Dagrim is exactly the sort of psychopath to go ahead by himself, despite having more than enough money to be able to hire an entire crew for it, go down into Dwemer ruins, clear them, and then personally drag a table all the way over here. It may have taken him months to do that, but this is Dagrim. He's not stupid, but he is kind of simple in a way. Moving right along. He has a nice old bookshelf, place where people can grab tankards, and turning around, a nice little reading nook. most commonly read books out of his personal stash back at one of his homes. Sitting on this Dwemer shelf, a nice chair, you know, spiced wine, good little setup. Right next to the very expensive reading nook is, of course, the cheapest seats in the house, with the worst chair imaginable. I would not want to sit in that thing. But yeah, this pleases Dagrim way too much. Right behind it, you may have seen it, is a little snack table, you know, pie, cheese, long taffy treat, and of course, his personal favorite treat in the whole wide world, honey nut treat. Yes. Over here, you know, bench for people who just want to sit down and shoot the shit, you know, the usual. Now, it's a little hard to see. I have to actually point out the hung up moss there. But since this is an orcish table with orcish chairs, he put up some tusks, hung some hanging moss off of it, put up an orcish sword above it, you know. Got some nice old herbals right there, you know, just the whole thing. Of course, we do have a long fire pit. Got some veggies grilling up on one side, meat grilling up on the other, 2 pots of stew going, and a pot of something. Who knows? On the other side of it, since he was a master smith, he went ahead and, you know, just created a little ode to how he started off his fortunes. You gotta get your start somehow, right? Some more storage over there with his loot, because he is a bard, if you remember. Another weapon hanging on the wall, and of course, the bar. Some lighting glitches, but yeah. Got a seat for the barfly, because every mead hall, bar, whatever, has one barfly. But yeah, just some neat little gubbins. Nice little divider separating things off. And then some extra seating. Some nicer seating with some spiced wine. But of course, over here, we have a couple of shooting dummies when he doesn't feel like stepping outside or it's raining or what have you. You know, it's not that hard to back up. Equip some arrows and I'm not entirely sure where that arrow went. Anyway. But yeah, he has everything that he needs to, you know, have a little fun when it's slow and he doesn't have very many customers, or none at all. Let's be honest, Dagrim is always a bit of an oddball, so yeah. In here we have the fancy drinking room. This is where rich people come when they don't want to mingle with the peasants. You've got some niceties sitting around, some good Dwemer cups, a nice selection of wines and the like. You know. Of course, Dagrim was not just the bard, he was also the archmage, but even more importantly than that, even though I never did it on screen, he did join Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild. That I did do on screen. So this is a nice little, well, partially drugged in, partially just place where the more questionable elements of society can come and have a few drinks. On the other side of this half wall, to the rich people's place to drink. I wonder why he set up that. It is a mystery. But if you recall, throughout the entirety of the run, Dagrim wanted to set up his own mead hall. And so he has his various gubbins necessary. Now, this is separated off because, well, people are drinking, they would like something to munch on, so he has something to munch on. It also helps that, I figure as an Argonian, he doesn't exactly like the cold. So this oven is a great place to just hang out and stay warm, ignoring the lighting glitches. But yeah, I also thought that the troll skull, you'd have a couple of actual trophies hanging around beyond just his blacksmithing. Now through here is the storage room. I forgot to put gubbins in that thing, but too late now. I'm fed up. I have had enough decorating. But yeah, a bunch of storage, another lockbox, some gold lying around. And of course, since he was also a master alchemist, you gotta have your alchemy table. And okay, those are supposed to be laying on the ground. They were earlier. Anyway. You have some Argonian blood wine, a shrine to... I can't pronounce the name offhand. Honey nut tree. Yeah, just the usual gubbins. And that's pretty much it. Since I was going to say goodbye to this wonderful fellow who introduced me to Skyrim, I felt that it was only appropriate to make sure that, he got a proper send-off. Call me sentimental. With some of the mods gone that were core to what I was doing. Thank you, Nexus. I now have to officially retire him. So, I would like to thank you all for the journey that you took with me. And I will be doing more Skyrim-related things in the near future. We'll see if you'll like it or not. We'll see how many fits it gives me or not. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Take care. Peace. And, of course, for the last time, Dagrim out.